Diego nació en un lugar muy difícil, la parte más pobre de la ciudad capital.
A mí la pelota era el juguete más lindo que había.
Before Diego Maradona would captain the 1986 Argentina World Cup team to a 3-2 victory over West Germany in the finals and a 2-1 victory over England in the quarterfinals, with a moment that has lived on in sports infamy as the hand of God.
They're appealing for offside. The ball came back off the foot of Steve Hodge.
After Diego Maradona would fail drug test and be banned from the sport for months due to his cocaine addiction.
Yo tomaba. Era para atrás. Era un paso para atrás. Y lo que tiene que hacer el pueblo es decir para adelante.
Before Diego Maradona would be named by FIFA alongside Pele as the two greatest players of the 20th century. Diego Maradona was an Argentine football player who was generally regarded not only as the top player of the 1980s, but one of the absolute greatest of all time. Now celebrated for his ability to control the ball and create scoring opportunities for himself and others, while he led multiple clubs to championships over the years, including in Argentina, Italy, and Spain. A stocky and tenacious man, while Diego became something of a hero to the lower class of Argentina and of southern Italy, where he led Napoli to victories over wealthier and more prestigious clubs. All in all, he played in 490 official club games during his 21-year career, scoring 259 goals, and for the Argentina team, well, he played in 91 games and he scored 34 goals. All before his career, well, it came to an end in the late 90s. Sadly, Diego, well, he passed away from a heart attack earlier this week while recovering from an emergency brain surgery. Now, it was a moment that impacted not only the great country of Argentina, but sports fans all over the world due to the astounding impact that Diego he made throughout his career. And football fans, they weren't the only ones heartbroken over what transpired. Now, celebrities of all sorts, they've taken to their social media feeds in remembrance of the star. Even the late Kobe Bryant, who himself passed away earlier this year, well, he mentioned how much Diego meant to him when he was being interviewed by Spanish reporters. In fact, he told them, "I love Maradona. When I was young in Italy, I used to always watch Maradona when he played for Napoli." After hearing the outpour of emotions after the death of this legend, well, it's pretty clear that his status as an all-time great in the world of sports, well, it is truly cemented. Now, today, in honor of this great man and all of his accomplishments, well, we're going to take a look back at his remarkable life. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Michael McCrudden with the video we have titled Gone But Not Forgotten for Diego Maradona. Now, when tragic news like this hits, well, we attach a relevant charity to make these videos fundraisers. Please donate anything you can. Everything helps. All right, now let's get into this story. Diego Armando Maradona was born on October 30th, 1960 in Villa Fiorito, a province of Buenos Aires in Argentina. Now, Diego was born the fifth of 8 children, and he was raised by Diego Sr. and his mother Donna Tota. Now, Diego, he grew up in a poor but extremely close-knit family. Now, he received his first soccer ball as a gift at the age of 3, and he took to it immediately, becoming so devoted to the game that he would even sleep next to his new ball. By the time he was 8, well, Diego was spotted by a talent scout while playing in his local neighborhood club. He then went on to become a staple of the junior team of Buenos Aires Argentinos Juniors, known as the Las Cebolitas, or the Little Onions. As a youngster, Diego, he would look to other footballers like Brazilian playmaker Rivellino and Manchester United winger George Best as his inspirations, and by the time he was 12 years old, he would amuse every spectator that came to his games with the wizardry of his ball handling during halftime intermissions. Playing for the Little Onions, well, Diego, he led his team to an absolutely astounding 136-game unbeaten streak, and he capped it off with a national championship. Now, by the time he was 16 years old, he was ready to make his professional debut for the senior team. Only 4 months later, he debuted with the national team, becoming the youngest Argentine ever to do so. Now, since he was still so young, well, he was held back from the 1978 World Cup squad that went on to win the whole thing. But the next year, he made up for it by leading the national under-20 team to the Junior World Cup Championship. In 1981, Diego had moved on to the Boca Juniors, and he immediately helped them win the championship. He then moved to Europe, playing with the FC Barcelona in 1982 and winning the Spanish Cup in 1983. He joined the ranks of the SSC Napoli in 1984, and he would remain there for 7 years, enjoying unparalleled success and raising the traditionally weak Naples to the mountaintop of Italian football. I'm sorry if I butchered that, but hey, I'm trying my best. Now the team, they won the league title and a cup in 1987, and then the league title once more in 1990. While he was having incomparable success in the professional leagues, well, it was his career with the Argentine national team that really transformed Diego into a legend throughout his appearances. This is in 1982, 1986, and 1990. Also 1994. My favorite year, the best movies in the world were made in 1994. I'm getting off topic. In particular, he absolutely dominated the competition in 1986, which would lead to one of the most infamous sporting moments of all time. It was during this tournament in Mexico during a quarterfinals match against England that he scored two of the most memorable goals in World Cup history. Now the first was struck with his hand, but the referee was mistakenly under the impression that he had hit it with his head. Now when asked about that after the fact, well, Diego responded with,
No la fatto Maradona, la fatto Diego.
The moment would live on in infamy in the sport, and depending on what side you were on, well, you either remember it with great admiration or with seething rage. Now the second remarkable goal that he made in that tournament, it was this.
Ahí la tiene Maradona, lo marcan dos, pisa la pelota Maradona, arranca por la derecha el genio del fútbol mundial, y deja el tercero a tocar para Borruchaga siempre Maradona, genio,
Nothing to complain about there, that's just skill personified. Now, despite all the success, it was unfortunately around this time when Diego's own personal demons, they began to come to light. His prestigious time with Napoli came to an end thanks to an arrest in Argentina for cocaine possession, and he received a 15-month suspension from the game. What followed was a downward spiral almost as epic as the skills he displayed on the field. Now, mafia connections, they led to drug and prostitution arrests and further suspensions. He attempted a comeback playing for both Sevilla in Spain as well as Newell's Old Boys in Argentina. But then in 1995, he returned to his old team, Boca Juniors, and he played his very last match on October 25th, 1997, 5 days before he turned 37. 3 years later, what would become his first real brush with death, well, he was hospitalized in the resort of Punta del Este with a heart condition that saw his ticker working at less than half its capacity. Now, when he was tested for drugs, well, the results turned up more cocaine in his system. Another emergency hospitalization had followed in 2004, after which he was counseled for drug abuse, and later that year, well, he traveled to Cuba for treatment at Havana's Center for Mental Health. While there, he was visited by his close personal friend, Fidel Castro, and he swapped out drugs for playing golf and smoking cigars. During his time in Cuba, well, Diego, he claims he got clean from drugs, and he began a new chapter in his life. Now, the next year, he underwent gastric bypass surgery in Colombia, he shed over 100 pounds, and he became a widely popular Argentine television talk show host on La Noche del 10.
It's my pleasure.
Es un placer para mí.
By 2008, Diego was itching to get back to the sport that he loved, and he was named the head coach of the Argentine national team. Now, he led the team to the quarterfinals of the 2010 World Cup, but their exit struck many as a bitter disappointment, and a contract extension, well, it was never agreed upon after the loss. The next year, he became the head coach of the United Arab Emirates club, Al West, but the team, they struggled, and Diego, he was fired the following year. From that point forward, well, Diego, he bounced around from club to club before settling in as coach of Mexico's Dorados de Sinaloa in 2018. Then on November 2nd, 2020, well, Diego, he was admitted to a hospital in La Plata, apparently for psychological reasons. Now, a day later, he underwent emergency brain surgery to relieve a subdural hematoma, otherwise known as a brain bleed. Now, he was released on the 12th of November after what was called a successful surgery, but less than 2 weeks later, well, Diego, he would pass away in his home in Tiger, Buenos Aires at the age of 60 due to a heart attack. In a statement released by the Argentine Football Association, they expressed, "Its deepest sorrow for the death of our legend, you will always be in our hearts." Following his death, Argentine President Alberto Fernandez issued 3 days of national mourning, something that a legend like Diego Maradona, well, he has more than earned. Our prayers and our wishes, they go out not only to his friends and family, but also to the millions of fans around the world who've become heartbroken yet again in a year that just never seems to quit. The man was a talent unlike any other. May he rest in peace. Alright guys, we're going to wrap up this video here. Now, if you're feeling generous or you have anything that you can donate, we've attached a charity down below. These gone before they were gotten videos, or before they were gone, they're all becoming fundraisers. And I think that's the best thing we can do to turn something negative into something positive. And yeah, I hope you guys, leave your condolences down below. Bye.